Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me just check my volume real quick. So, this interesting article
Why
came
are
out
women
today.
everywhere choosing Abby?
I've been against this from the get-go, but who's going to listen to me, right? And
Hi,
but
everyone.
now, but now, okay, my sound is working. So I'm just bringing this up because I know there's so much news out there. You get inundated with so much information on social media and whatnot. So I just wanted to emphasize this article that came out in the Daily Mail. And this is about a surgeon who does perform these quote unquote gender affirming surgeries. And even he admits what we already know is that it's a disaster. They're all a disaster. Not just some of them, all of them. And on Reddit they were censoring people who complained about their surgeries. They would censor them. They would be cut them out so that they wouldn't warn other young people. It's really this is really pushed too hard, and it's really destroyed so many lives. And this surgeon who does the surgeries admitted to it. Pink-haired Portland surgeon who performs sex change surgery on trans children admits that they face a lifetime of infertility, incontinence means they can't control when they go to the bathroom, they have to wear diapers for the rest of their lives, and sexual dissatisfaction. Yeah, because it's common sense. You cut the nerves down there, you can't feel anything. You're numb down there for the rest of your life. You cut the nerves off, there's no more feeling. It's like if you in your back, if you're in an accident and the nerves get cut in your back, you're paralyzed. Nerves don't grow back. So these young people, these children in many cases are left with they're numb. They're numb from the waist down. And this is what they call a gender affirming care. So finally, they've got this doctor who performs the surgeries admitting to all this. And of course, he deleted his video later, but they found it again. Nothing, everything's forever on the internet, right? Horrified viewers liken the evil procedures to Nazi era experiments. Advocates say they're rare but vital for those with serious body dysmorphia. That's debatable. A surgeon dubbed Dr. Frankenstein, this is from July 14th, this article just came out. Dr. Frankenstein candidly revealed the downside of performing genital reshaping surgeries on transgender children and adults in a video which has now been deleted. In the video, Dr. Blair Peters, a self described queer surgeon with he, they pronouns, pink hair, and a passion for genital surgery, says patients face fertility, sexual pleasure, and other lifelong post op complications. Yeah, in other words, you don't have any of that. You're no longer fertile. You can't have children. You get no sexual pleasure for the rest of your life. I mean, the whole thing is just a butchery. Perhaps more concerning is how Dr. Peters, who works at one of America's most progressive hospitals, presents his procedure, some of which involves robotics, as experimental. He says he's figuring out what works and his team will know more in the next 5 to 10 years. So they just want to keep doing these surgeries on children, ruining children's lives, and experimenting on them, and maybe in 10 years, maybe they'll do a decent job. But for right now, they're just destroying people, typically young, healthy people. Surgically altering male and female genitals to match those of the opposite sex or simply removing the patient's privates altogether are widely understood to be tough and problematic. Yeah, to say the least, you're just butchering them. And this is the monster here. These are medical doctors doing this. First, do no harm. They're just harming people, and they have no morals anymore. No morals, no ethics. They're just experimenting on children. It's really unbelievable. Advocates in general, and advocates of gender affirming care, as it's known, say they're rare but vital for trans people. Critics say they should be banned, especially for kids, and that patients need counseling, not cutting. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a kid cuts their arms. You send them to the shrink to stop it. But, oh, they want to cut off their healthy body parts. Oh, that's okay, right? I mean, it makes absolutely no sense, right? Dr. Peters, a highly rated plastic surgeon at Oregon Health and Science University, or OSU, made the admission in a 37-minute interview with Dr. Brianna Durand of Empower Physiotherapy in Seattle. The original video post from last year appears to have been deleted but then retrieved from an archive and shared recently on social media. Viewers called the procedures evil and compared them to Nazi era experiments. Conservative scholar Christopher Rufo likened Dr. Peters to another clinician, the fictional experimenter who builds a monster from body parts in Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein. Osu, Dr. Peters, and Dr. Duran did not answer our requests for comment. Osu's gender clinic is well regarded among trans patients. Wait times for some procedures stretch as long as 2 years. Yeah, these people need multiple surgeries. Like, you don't just go and get it one and done. Like, they have complications, all kinds of uh, horror stories you hear of one example was a transgender woman talking about, they have the fake hole that they have, and if they try to have sex, sometimes the skin just rips open, they bleed everywhere, and they have to go to the hospital. I mean, it's a disaster. They could bleed to death. In the video, Dr. Peters describes advances being made in phalloplasties and vaginoplasties, including using a robot control. So they want robots to do this. They want you to just be able to go in and a robot destroys you. Can you imagine? By a second surgeon to build a neo-vagina from penis and scrotum tissue. He also describes wholesale genital removals for non-binary patients, an increasingly popular procedure known as nullification. So they actually, for some people, go in there and make them like a Barbie doll. They go in and they just put a flap of skin over and just get rid of everything, so you have nothing but a flap of skin down there. I mean, perfectly healthy people destroying their bodies, they don't realize you get these surgery, you get any kind of surgery, you've got lifelong complications, infections, um, all kinds of scarring that causes issues. You have to go back in, emergency surgeries, and these cost tens of thousands of dollars. So they're reaping in all kinds of money from this. It's very expensive. These kids are going to have lifelong surgeries and needing depends and needing catheters, and some of them need to use it's so bad that they have to use what is that when you can't poop anymore, you have to use a bag, a colectomy bag. I mean, when you see like a teenager or early 20s, perfectly healthy 20 something with a colectomy bag, they're not going to have a long life. I mean, it's just you can't do stuff like this to your body and not think it's going to catch up with you. Unbelievable. Controversially, he addresses a handful of puberty suppressed adolescents undergoing the surgeries, and they say it's more complicated. If they would suppress their puberty, then they have less material to work with, and it makes it even more complicated. Never mind the fact that their mental and physical bodies are stunted and they're emotional. It's awful. They're really messing these kids up really badly. Those with boy to girl transitions, surgeons didn't have enough tissue to build a neovagina and must graft skin from elsewhere. Yeah, they're grafting the skin off the arms and the legs so they look like monsters afterward. I mean, it's really horrible what they're doing to this kid, and they act like this is gender affirming care, what they're doing. This is how psychotic and crazy and insane, and this is intentional because the government and the globalists want to push this insanity, and anything that they say is right. It's 1984. They're saying this is gender affirming care, and it's right because we say so, and we're the government. And you just have to accept it no matter how crazy and insane it is. So that's what they're doing here, and they actually have these doctors buying into it and doing it and making all kinds of money. So yeah, they have rectal and urinary incontinence. Oh, great! So they can't use either. They can't go to the bathroom either way. They can't control it. Others struggle to achieve sexual satisfaction. Yeah, they have no nerves down there. You can't feel anything, so you're obviously never going to be satisfied sexually. And of course, they can't have children. Some have really demanding post-operative care process. Yeah, they have to go back for multiple surgeries. They call it post-operative care process. Yeah, multiple emergency surgeries there, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pretty much every single male to female surgery recipient sees their fake hole can shorten over time. Patients coming back 20 years later, something happened. They don't take care of it, and they lose a lot of depth. Well, of course, you put skin up there, it just rots away. Dr. Peters said this technique and successes rate were improving. Yeah, whatever that means. Oh, there's less people needing incontinence bags and depends diapers, maybe. But there's still much to learn. We're learning more and more in the next 5 to 10 years. So in 5 to 10 years, they might do something right. So in other words, all the surgeries are a mess. They're just all a disaster. Because they're not even there yet. He's saying we're not there yet. We can't do it yet. I mean, it's going to take another 5 to 10 years of butchering children before we figure out, oh, this is how it's done. I mean, really? So all these kids are experimenting on themselves. Other advocates of the trans medicine represent the surgeries as a trade-off, acknowledging that substantial drawbacks. Yeah, they got substantial drawbacks. Yeah, they're destroying your life. Major drawback there. But saying that they're vital to the serious discomfort in their bodies. No, they just need to get some therapy and get comfortable with it and accept what they've got. Unbelievable. And they knew this. They knew this before they even started this. This was proven in scientific studies back in the 70s with people who had gotten these surgeries, and the suicide rate is so high because they're never satisfied. Even after the surgeries, they're not going to be happy. It doesn't solve the depression. It doesn't solve their body dysmorphia. It doesn't solve the mental illness, right? So getting the surgery is never successful. And they knew this before they even pushed this gender affirming nonsense. They knew this even before they started that this wasn't going to be successful and it wasn't going to solve their problems. So they say there's an estimated 1.6 million trans non-binary Americans age 13 and above, but only 31% take the hormones and 16% opt for the surgery. And by the way, teachers are pushing this on kids to do this too. They're like, do it, do it. Really pushing this stuff on them. Most surgeries are breast removals and female to male transitioners. Genital surgery on children is very rare, massively controversial. Yeah, no kidding. So I just thought it was important to highlight this article. I'm gonna look at how I'm gonna throw a few cards and see how Harry and Meghan feel about this. I know Meghan at one point talked about her second child being gender fluid, but I wonder if Harry and Meghan would opt to butcher their child. And I have a picture, an after picture of what it looks like, what they do to a young person's body. It's a medical picture. It's not showing genitals or anything. Um, but it is hard to look at. So I'm gonna show I'm giving you a warning. But you need to see what they do to this young person's body. Why this is such Frankenstein. Ready? So here you go. Three. I'm showing the picture. If you don't like looking at post-op pictures, close your eyes. Three, two, one. Here we go. That is what they do to a healthy young woman's body. Cut off, flap of skin off the arm, sew it together, and just sew it to the front, and it always rots away, right? I mean, you're talking about dead skin, and this is what they call gender affirming care, doing this to children. I mean, yeah, when you see these, you're just like, there's no way you could not be against this, doing this to young, healthy children, you know? That's what I'm saying. They try to hide these pictures too. They don't want you to see it. As soon as people post, I got that off Twitter from a doctor. It's a doctor's account. All the trannies start attacking her for exposing it. They don't want to expose what's really going on. You can't get a surgery like that and tell me that, oh yeah, you just go home and everything's great afterwards. No, that's going to take a lot of that's going to rot away, and they're going to have to go back and cut it off, and there's going to be infections, and you could get sepsis, you could die. I mean, it's really horrible. That's what they're doing to young, healthy people. And they're calling that gender affirming care in the Biden White House. Just FYI. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're not attacking us. It's not an attack on Americans or anything. They're not attacking the children or anything. So how do Harry and Meghan with their buddies with the Biden system? They're very supportive of the Biden system and this agenda they're pushing of gender affirming care. How do Harry and Meghan feel about this? Yeah, that's what they're doing to children. Yeah, they wanna talk about how wonderful it is. It's gender affirming. No, it's not. It's butchery is all it is. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Do no harm. And look what they're doing. They're doing nothing but harm. And they're bragging about it, and they're just got the support of the White House. It's really disgusting. It's really evil. It's evil. It's all it is evil. There's no other way to look at it. So anyways, let's take a look. I'm gonna throw a few cards. I just wanted to highlight this article so you didn't miss it. Came out July 14th. course, the Biden administration, all the supporters of this butchery don't want you to see this article and know about it, but I want to make sure the word gets out there that there's the surgeon who does the surgeries, and he admits that it ruins your life. It ruins your life. Just destroying these kids' bodies. And maybe in 5 to 10 years they'll get it right. Hey, who knows? They keep butchering kids' bodies over and over and destroying their lives. Eventually, maybe they'll do something right, right? That's their philosophy. That's the new medicine we're dealing with. That's the care you get in hospitals. So look out. Look out. That's all I gotta say. Stay out of hospitals at all possible. Take care of yourself at home with a good doctor, I'm telling you. Yeah, you can't buy alcohol before 21, but they encourage you to butcher your body and destroy your body. Exactly. And if you cut your wrist, if you're a cutter, and so you cut your arms or something, for that they'll get you therapy, right? But other things they want you to destroy you. It's unbelievable. The evilness of this is so evil. This is what the globalists are behind this. If you look at the Alex Jones website, this somebody did an expose about who's behind all this, and I think it's this Pricker guy, a very wealthy globalist guy, who's now a female, claims to be a female, and he's pushing this in schools and using his billions of dollars to push it in hospitals and schools. And he's behind this, pushing this. This is not organic. This is all being pushed by a globalist because they want to go transgender, transhuman, right? So it's the whole agenda, this globalist agenda, and trying to make it seem like, oh, this is just happening. It's just helping, and we're just helping you into transhumanism. That's all. So how do Harry and Meghan feel about this? They gonna butcher their kids' bodies? Is that what they're planning on doing? How do Harry and Meghan feel about this? Do they care? Because this is Harry and Meghan's. They support the Bidens, right? They're 100% behind the Bidens and pushing for the Biden regime. And Meghan wants to work with the Biden regime. Gavin Newsom and all that. And now in California, if a child wants to get this butchery and the parents say no, they can take the children away from the parents. This is how evil it's gotten. It's gotten so evil. Okay, so this card came out, Judgment. Yeah. So Harry and Meghan don't say anything because they know people will jump on them and it'll make it this is a huge, huge, and there's so many deaths now. We've got for various reasons. I don't know if you've been watching Dr. Campbell's videos, but he's been covering all the excess deaths around the world. And even he's admitted he would not have taken the you know what if he knew this before. So even Dr. Campbell has come out and admitted he regrets taking the you know what. So this is all part and parcel. I mean, there's a lot of attacks going on. This is how we're being depopulated. And being depopulated is the Bill Gates and the globalist agenda as well. They want 90% of the population gone, from what I hear. So Harry and Meghan are a part of that. They're like a distraction. You see up here, this is Megan with her foghorn, and she's like, look at me, I'm going to the farmer's market. Bah, bah." All these people are dying. So her and Harry are aware that they're a distraction from all the deaths going on, this culture of death and this attack on humanity going on. And they're there to be a distraction for the globalists. I mean, obviously that's their job. I mean, and Megan loves being in the media, so it's no problem for her being the narc Leo that she is. She's more than happy to do it. They're well aware of the deaths and destruction that they're causing. They are well aware of what's going on. They want to be a part of it. They support the governments, the globalists, because Megan wants to go wherever. It's a neo-feudalist, they call it. Megan wants to be at the top of the globalists, so she's supporting their agenda. hmm Strength, and that's why there's so much censorship, and they're censoring anyone who criticizes them or what they talk about or do. Uh-huh. Oh, Meghan is buddy buddies. Meghan and Harry are just celebrating this. They're like the stupid little people. And this is also like a conspiracy. They're together with the globalists and all of that. Harry and Meghan, the globalists. And this is destroying fertility, destroying mothers, destroying women. And that's what Meghan's secretly supports. That's why she faked the pregnancy. She's mocking motherhood, mocking pregnancy. Um, yeah, because she's evil. Yeah, Megan is very well aware, and she doesn't care. She's like, part of her job is mocking motherhood and mocking traditional femininity and tradition. And that's why she's the whole thing with faking the pregnancies and of course, attacking other traditions, the traditional royal family, and female, what she calls female empowerment, but it's really destruction of women and femininity and biology. So yeah, Harry and Meghan are very much aware and a part of this whole agenda, but they're supposed to be like a distraction from it. They support it, but not all the way. They're not going to come out and talk about gender affirming care, but they are with the same groups, Bill Gates and George Soros and all the rest, obviously. Yeah, yeah. What's wrong with those parents? Well, sometimes the kids are taken away from the parents. That's what they're starting to do now. If your kid wants the surgery and the parents say no, the state comes in and takes the kid away and claims the parents are abusing them for not recognizing their new gender. I mean, this is what's going on. It's really sick. Yeah. Yeah, Megan's behind this. She doesn't care. I don't know if Megan, she's crazy. She'll do anything for power. Megan will do anything for power. She's evil herself. And if destroying femininity and nature and humanity is part of the game, as long as Megan has power and money, she doesn't care. You little people can just go all die. She doesn't care. As long as she has the power and money, that's all she cares about. She is the forever, what is the word? Social climber. So they couldn't care less. They're having fun. Megan and Harry are having fun, being the center of attention and distraction, and uh, just censoring people and being behind the censorship. So Harry and Meghan's main function in all of this, they are part of the agenda. Their main function is behind censoring freedom of speech. And that's why all the lawsuits, that's why all the censorship online, because their job is to censor. Censoring is half the job because people, like kids who don't realize what's really going on with these surgeries, they go in and think, "Oh yeah, it's great, let's go do it." So censoring people's online is a major part of pushing this agenda forward, right? You've got to not only push the agenda again and again and again, but you've also got to censor the people coming out with the truth and call it misinformation, right? So that's what Harry and Meghan's main job is in this, and destroying fertility, and destroying mothers, and motherhood, and the ability to reproduce. Meghan is just evil. She's just evil. She doesn't care. She's only doing what she's selfish. Oh, there's Lulu. Lulu saying hello. I know people ask for the cat, Lulu come Lulu comes in when she feels like it. She agrees. Megan's a witch. You agree, Lulu? Yeah. Yeah, she wants something to eat, I think. So anyways, I just want to put that out there. I want to emphasize that here's a doctor admitting to the butchery he's doing. It's out there. It's in the mainstream media. Hopefully it wakes people up. And, you wouldn't do this to an animal, what they're doing to these kids. It's really, if you did to animals what they're doing to children, you would be, arrested for animal cruelty, right? I mean, and it's unbelievable. So, wanted to put that out there. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Pass it on. Make sure everyone knows about this article. It's on Daily Mail. Thank you all for listening. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye bye.